Easter, as we all know, is a very movable feast, and there can be a difference of 34 days between the earliest and the latest dates. But the date of Easter was fixed as the Sunday following the full moon after the spring equinox. Therefore, the spring equinox is March the 21st, which is a church dating, but also quite accurate from an astronomical point of view. So it's the Sunday after the full moon after the spring equinox. And that was decided and settled in the year 325 at the Council of Nicaea in modern-day Iznik in Turkey, where they decided that that was the date. Because at that time, there were some people who wished to observe the Easter much closer to the Jewish reckoning of the Passover, and it was then settled in 325. And so that's the date we have. So the earliest date can be the 22nd of March, and the latest date can be the 25th of April. In fact, in recent years, we've had an experience of having almost the earliest possible date and almost the latest possible date, because in 2008, we celebrated Easter on the 23rd of March. And last year, we had the 24th of April, which is one day short of the latest possible. And in fact, some of us old enough might remember that in the year 1943, we had in fact the 25th of April was the date of Easter. So it's a Martin Luther called it a wobbling feast, because it could be 34 days in the difference between the earliest and the latest. There is one little complication, which is that's a Western date, because Eastern Christians still follow, as far as calculating the date of Easter, they follow the Julian calendar. The Julian calendar was the calendar that was in use up to the time of a reform of the calendar in 1582, named after the Pope at the time, Gregory VII. And what they did then was that to try and make the calendar more accurate, they took 10 days out of the year. So in that year, the 4th of October was followed by the 15th of October. And they also made another change, that the end of century year, if it was divisible by 400, then it was a leap year. And that's why the year 2000 was a leap year, but the year 1900 was not a leap year. And in that Gregorian reform of the calendar, therefore, with the 10 days missing, it means that Eastern Christians calculating the date of Easter can be usually a week later. So this year, while it's one of those years when we don't have the East and West on the same date, but a week apart.